Hey, it's your boy Dre, real quick off the top here. Usually we have some goofy thing to say up front, but I want to, not serious, but I want to say something for realsies this time. If you like this show and you listen on Apple Podcasts, please go there and give us a 5-star review and maybe write something too. I know it's annoying when shows tell you to do that, but it really, really would help out a small show like ours. So if you like this show and you listen on Apple Podcasts, please go give us a good review. That would be even just a couple sentences. That would be excellent of you. We would all appreciate it. Let's start the show. Hello, party people. It's your boy Dre once again, and I'm here with Steve. However, I'm sorry to report we are not here with Kevin this week. Steve just had an orgasm because he misses Kevin so much. Isn't that right?
Right, there was some kind of experience there.
Well, we're here. Sorry, it's just two of us. It's an all-American show this time.
Apple pies.
Apple pies, baseball, bitches.
Bacon cheeseburgers.
What else we like around here? Pizza?
That's more the world's food, I think.
I'm pretty sure we've got the... look, I'm just going to say it. We make better pizza than Italy now, okay? Pizza is ours. It's ours.
We make better guns than Italy, too.
Well, we make a lot of... I mean, can you be nice on the show? Can you be happy? Can you say things that are good about America and not guns? That would be cool.
We make better podcasts than Italy.
Yes, I believe that is true as well. Our two Italian listeners are just throwing their iPhone 7s in the ocean. I don't know why I gave them iPhone 7s. That seems really insulting.
That's even worse than what I just said.
I mean,
but we're half Italian each, so but when you add the two together, we're allowed to say that.
Yeah, we make one full Italian when you put us together in the spiritual sexual level.
We're allowed.
Okay. I guess we'll start off by, well, it's not really mine because I force you to play with me as well. And I guess you've been playing some on your own as well, which is Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2 sure is a video game that came out recently.
Are we going to do that? Is that how we're going to treat it?
I like playing with my friend Andre on the internet.
Oh, wow. That is like the worst endorsement of all time. Okay.
I'm not over. Look, have you? Obviously, you haven't. But if you have one look at his rap sheet from the first game that carries over to this game, this is an Overwatch man. He has watched an over or 5,000.
I have watched an over. You know, Violence Fight, the Taito fighting game that has like the crazy English. I like when you win the round and it says score a point over. I was thinking watch a point over. I don't know why. Anyway, that's a joke for like two people. The two people are us.
I was going to ask if they liked it, but then I didn't realize we were the only ones.
We're the only ones. Overwatch 2, I guess I'll just get into some nitty gritty here. I'll try to avoid all the like super detailed stuff because I think that's boring to people who don't really play Overwatch. So I'll keep it pretty general. Push mode. Remember that, Steve? You know what mode that is? Let's quiz you.
Is that the mode where we play the objective?
Oh my God. What mode is it?
Is that the one with the robot?
It's the one with the robot. And that's the new mode in Overwatch 2. I had a fun time with this during beta. I'm having a funner time now. I think this is a really great mode. It's sort of a flanking paradise for damaged characters. Get right in there. You got to really push. I feel it's chaotic. It's really pressing in a way, if that's an adjective, and fun. I'm a fan of push mode. I'm a fan of every mode in Overwatch, including Assault, but that's not here anymore, unfortunately. I don't really keep up with the Overwatch community at large. Like, I really only just play with a few friends. So I had no idea Assault was controversial until they removed it. I just didn't know. I love Assault. I miss Assault. And I'm going to continue to miss it for a game. You know what's weird about it? For a game that cares so much about its lore and presenting it to you, removing all the Assault maps, like one of them is Horizon's Lunar Colony, like that's where Winston is from, because he's a talking gorilla with an American accent from the moon, because of course that's out of the game, so you don't really have his like quote unquote home. Zarya is Russian, so you don't have Volskaya Industries anymore. Widowmaker's French. You don't have Paris anymore. Not that every character needs to have their like little stake in the game. That's their own level. At the same time, I thought that kind of stuff was cool, and I'm sure they didn't pick those locations at random. They picked them for a reason to bring you closer to the characters, because that's really what people play Overwatch for, including myself. So I hope Assault can come back someday as a permanent arcade mode, like how they added mystery heroes to like the unranked options. Like it is there forever now, or like no limits is always there. I hope Assault can become one of those, even if it rotates in and out. Still, like bring it back, everybody. Probably a bigger change than removing Assault was the move to 5v5 over 6v6. Now, like, I still ultimately don't like that it takes away the wackier combinations of teams, which is like, was like early on my favorite part of Overwatch. If you wanted to have 5 damage and Mercy, like go for it. If you wanted to have 3 tanks and, you know, like a couple Torbjorns, fine. Okay, even when they got rid of character stacking, you could still do that kind of stuff. And that was cool, and you had to change your team to meet whatever they were doing. There's a lot less of that now. I feel like with the 5v5, it feels like they wanted to be like, okay, you have more incentive to switch characters to meet stuff, but I feel like there's actually less than in my experience so far. But it didn't get rid of the franticness. Like I said, 5v5, push mode, frantic as ever. I thought removing 2 characters would make it less exciting. It doesn't. It's still great. Steve, I'll direct this at you just because you are a new player. The content pool here of like maps, I'm sure you've seen a lot of different maps. I don't know exactly how much you've played, but I just feel like, I don't know, I felt like the original game was a little light on content for your $60. Now that this is free, that element is sort of removed. Obviously, they added a lot more content over time and became more than well worth it. But like, as a free-to-play game, like you've played Paladins before, right? Like, do you feel like this stacks up, like feature set-wise, compared to that?
I feel like there's a lot more going on here than Paladins, but isn't that the point?
You think so? Okay.
I feel like there is, but I've also only really dabbled, and maybe I logged in 5 hours tops in Paladins.
I mean, I feel like that's enough to see a lot of different maps and modes and stuff. And similarly, you ever play the one where you have to get to 400 points on the little control space and everyone's just around dicking off? It seems like Overwatch too, huh?
Just like Overwatch.
Boy. Though I think the new skins and stuff that I've seen in the shops are great. Obviously, they're pretty expensive now, and I don't see myself buying a whole lot of them, even though I bought one already. But that's going to be a very special here and there thing. I don't mind spending money on a free-to-play game if it gives me something that I think is worth it, and I think this game will so far. Overall, I guess to cap this off, I'm really excited of what's coming down the pipeline in Overwatch for the first time in a long time. Now, that doesn't mean that like I got bored of the original game. It's just that like the last couple years, there really hadn't been anything, because obviously they're gearing up for this.
Well, I need to inject a little horror story into this for Andre, because you know what's in Overwatch 2? Crossplay and cross progression. And you know what that means Steve did, since it's all free? He downloaded and played the Switch
You
version.
did not fucking do that.
And linked it up to his BattleNet account that he just invented for this sole occasion.
Oh my god.
And he's logged in at least an hour and a half into that
You
mode.
did not. Why?
For science!
Why would you
It's not
ever?
that
Yes, it is.
It's fine.
No,
it's fine.
It's not fine.
I didn't play with you on there.
You better not, or I mean, Jesus, fuck.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Come at me in the comments if it's not fine.
Why would you play fine when you can play the best? Why would you ever settle
because
for
I
fine?
don't want to get up all the fucking time. Sometimes I'm already in bed and it's like, the PS5's all the way over there.
You are. How about you put the PS5 all the way over there in the used game shop? Because apparently you don't fucking appreciate it.
Well, we'll find out in a bit that's not true, but
Jesus fucking Christ. Now I have to talk about Pilot Wing 64, and I'm all verklempt. This is your plan all along. I mean, look, I'm not going to go into like, oh, Pilot Wing 64, you can use the jetpack. Isn't that cool? Everyone knows what Pilot Wings is.
Really? Because I feel like they don't.
They do. I feel like they do. Is Pilot Wings on Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online? I forgot.
It sure is.
Okay, because I mean, I never had the original. I played it at friends' houses a lot, so I'm obviously familiar with it, and I played it a bunch, but I never had my own. Pilot Wing 64 I had, and I played the shit out of. But two things I want to talk about regarding this. The emulation here is crazy. So, like, I remember when Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch Online first came out, and it was not great. Like, you'd play rock solid 60 frames a second games like Yoshi's Story, and it'd be dipping like crazy. And I'm like, I'm not playing any of this stuff till it gets fixed. And I haven't gone back to Yoshi's Story to see if it was, but like, I just stuck to the shit that ran like shit in the first place, like Win Back or whatever, because it's like, you know, who cares? I like Win Back, okay? Leave me alone.
Join us in the future when we fight about WinBack.
Yeah, we're going to argue about that in a few months. So on Pilot Wing 64, right away, you notice that the intro is 60 frames a second. And it's like, whoa. In fact, even before that, I remember that last Nintendo Direct where I saw the Pilot Wing 64. I remember I said to you two assholes, hey, did you notice the frame rate looked really high there? And you'd be like, yeah, of course you did, Andre. You knew. And I'm like, okay, call me crazy, but here we are. And this game is actually running. Now, it's not a constant 60 frames a second. It still has dips. Like they're doing some, I don't know what they're doing on the back end to make this happen. It doesn't feel like they quote unquote ported it to run that way. I think they're just using whatever natural power there is in the emulator to make it run faster, but it is. And it's a drastic improvement. Not that the game ran like shit to begin with, obviously, but it's noticeable and it's very appreciated. This going along with the upgraded textures, more clear textures, all that stuff. Obviously, the pop-in is still ghastly, but it was at the time too. This is one of the better emulation jobs I've ever seen on one of these services. I just didn't think they were capable of this. It makes you wonder why they didn't do this for other games, huh?
Maybe they just couldn't, or maybe it was just easier to do here.
I think it probably was because I think 60 frames a second is already in the game's code, because at the character select screen, that always ran 60 frames a second when they just spin around with their hang glider or whatever vehicle you know what I mean? Before you pick Robin and make her say, oh yeah, over and over again.
I think that was a uniquely Andre experience.
Oh, come on. I'm not the only one who did that. I wasn't the only one who was 14 when Pilot Wing 64 came out. Thought that was funny. Look, I
guess it's better than staring at Hawk-Ass.
I mean, by the way, did you? I was playing Wave Race 64 the other day. David Mariner's ass is like very.
That is very ass.
Yeah, that is very ass. He didn't have an ass like that in Blue Storm. Like, he has an ass because, you know, he's a thick boy and his icon is a double cheeseburger or whatever they made it in Blue Storm. But
yeah,
it's like, I thought that was like, even for the time, I thought that was like really too on the nose. Anyway, Pilot Wing 64, great game. What a vibe. It's smooth. It's fun. Your mileage may vary depending on how you might feel about these kind of tasks in a video game or non-tasks, but ace soundtrack, great atmosphere, just a great game. But here's what I want to ask you, Steve. Why has nobody ever ripped off Pilot Wings? And you could say that it's not popular enough, but people rip off everything Nintendo does eventually, right? Why has nobody ever done this?
It's not just that. Pilot Wings was always more the tech demo. It's always the launch title of something. It's never in the middle of the life cycle. It was a launch title on Super NES and N64, and I know you keep trying to block it out of your skull, but Nintendo 3DS launched with a Pilot Wings game. That was fucking K.
Yeah, because it's not a technical showpiece, because it's the 3DS. Like, it's not impressive.
I mean, it was like, ooh, flying 3D, but you know what else was flying 3D popping out at me? Star Fox 64 6 months later.
I thought you were going to say Kid Icarus, but whatever.
Well, that came out a year later, and oh my god, that was good in 3D, but not today. But why doesn't anyone else do this? Because how else are you going to rip off Pilot Wings? Okay, instead of using the gyrocopter, we're going to use the helicopter. That'll show them.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, why not? Be shameless about it. I feel like, especially in an age like in the 32-bit generation, where it was common to have extreme sports games or rollerblading and skateboarding and shit like that, right? I don't know. You remember that game by Ubisoft, Steep? Remember Steep? Where like they had it's snowboarding and the squirrel suit and like
I remember the name.
Yeah, I was thinking that was going to be like freeform Pilot Wings, and it really wasn't. It's also really notable for being in that sizzle reel at the January 2017 Switch presentation, and it never came out. Except like it was confirmed on Twitter, like to a reply to someone else. Is Steep still coming to Switch in like 2018 or 19 or whatever? And it's like, we've decided to move our resources elsewhere. Some like PR, they were just hoping everyone would forget about it. And they did.
I mean, to their credit, I forgot about it until just now. So there's that.
Yeah. Anyway, I just think, I don't know, with the power of systems today, and like where like Microsoft Flight Simulator can come out and just people enjoy just flying over the world or whatever, right? Without any real task. I feel like there's a place for Pilot Wings.
Hey, maybe Nintendo will come out with new Pilot Wings on Nintendo Switch next, because they need to show off what a super duper tablet can really do.
I don't like you anymore. I'm going to stop talking, and you're going to talk about spoopy games.
Guess what, bitches? It's still October. That means I'm still playing the spoopy games. So yeah, murder mysteries. We all like them, but spoopy murder mysteries? Well, yeah, that's what we're doing. Especially with Murdered Soul Suspect. It's a murder mystery, you guys. Yours. You get killed not 2 minutes into the opening, so it's not a spoiler. Don't come at me with that.
This is a fun twist. You got to admit that.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm just saying. Like everyone's like, no spoilers.
Yeah,
but
of course.
It's like, come on, it's in the title, but and on the cover. But anyway. I knew we were in for something really ridiculous when the first prompts include use the control stick to touch your face and walk towards the light. But yeah, you're a ghost of a detective that just got killed in a high-profile murder case in Salem, Massachusetts, and you got to find clues and listen to witnesses at crime scenes, living and dead, while trying to make sense of all of it as a detective. And since you're dead, you have a living medium to help you out. It's fun, but this isn't LA Noire, because you have a lot of investigation-y scenes where, you do need to find out how this mess of a case goes together. And that was broken up with, cheesy mid-century cops and robbers, car sequences and gunplay. We get stuck with these weird stealth sections where we have to exorcise screaming demons by peeling them apart like giant bananas. It's not fun. They don't. Huh?
I don't remember that at all. What the fuck are you talking about?
They crawl up and down hallways or corridors or what have you. You have to sneak up behind them, push R2 to start pulling them. Then you have to follow the next QTE event to like just rip them apart from themselves.
Okay.
And if you don't do that, they just rip you apart the same way, and you have to reload from the checkpoint.
I remember now.
It's not fun. The ghosts often follow their own rules, and frankly, I don't feel like it's really related to the story it's trying to tell at all. You remember a little while ago when Kevin's like, I want something else to do in Valhalla besides bartending, the game where we bartend. This was not the way to staple something in. This wasn't.
I mean, okay. I played this not when it came out, but a very long time ago now, probably in like 2015. So like, I really don't. I'm trying to remember the details here. I remember liking it, and I know what you're saying. It was with the combat was like not the best, but I remember not being bothered enough by it to like be turned off.
I like the game, but it just the combat is often useless, and if you're really good, you can just slip by most of them anyway. So there's no point, which might be the point in and of itself. I don't know. The company doesn't exist anymore. I can't ask them.
Yeah, they went bankrupt a month after this came out. So,
but you know, having unfinished business is a bitch in and of itself. So there's a lot of ghosts you can optionally help along the way. And frankly, after dealing with the first optional one, which was a lady killed by old people after she was partying too loud one night, I think we just need to fucking burn Salem to the ground. It's irredeemable after that. Just a lot of weird technical hiccups along the way, wherein you're talking to another ghost and she just stands there, and sometimes she raises her hand to try and convey things. It's obviously playing out a cutscene, but there's no text or voice or anything that's going on, and then it just ends, and it's like, okay, figure out how I died.
Well, I feel like that was more interesting than like, because the sneaking up on wraiths or whatever is like more the quote unquote real gameplay. This other ghosty investigation stuff is just stuff you can do on the side, and I think I found that stuff a lot more interesting.
No, I found the investigative stuff more exciting too, which is why I was kind of hoping the ghosts can tell me what was wrong with them so I can go do their investigation. That the one in particular wasn't. And then there was a lot of other times where I couldn't pick up a thing because I wasn't facing it at just the right angle.
Video game.
Yeah, video game. And then right at the end, there was a weird thing where I'm not going to get too deep into it if you want to spend $2 on it like I did. But I'm meeting I get past the red herring, and then we get to where you really have to do it, where you're really solving the case. And then right after I crack the case, software has had an error. We have to close. Okay, fine. We'll just reload and we'll start again. Okay, it remembered I did all that. So we'll go back and we'll start to wrap up the game. And we're going to have the red herring scene again. Do we have to go back and unravel the rest of the case again, even though it just said I did that? No? Okay. This was not tested, and as we've already, indicated, it was, there was not enough time to fix this before it came out because it's time to shutter the studio.
Maybe that's a PS5 quirk. I would have remembered if that happened to me, for sure.
I'm sure I just managed to trigger every inconvenient little thing. And I had fun, but it's just not hard to see why I only paid $2 for it instead of $20.
Cult following, though. People who played it generally like it, and now you're part of the cult. You're part of the Murdered Soul Suspect Club.
Yeah, I just keep finding these weird, spoopy games that don't work very well, like Deadly Premonition Origin. Remember way back on the first episode where I talked about Deadly Premonition 2?
Yes, Steve, we do.
Well, there was a Deadly Premonition 1. It's funny how numbers work, right? It's great. You're an FBI agent, Francis York Morgan, and his dissociative identity disorder, and you got to solve a case in the middle of bumfuck nowhere where Women are being force-fed red seeds and bearing saplings, resulting in brutal deaths. It's fun for the whole spoopy family.
This sounds amazing. I actually do have this game on Switch. I obviously have not played it, or I'd be chiming in right now. You're kind of now making me want to.
Well, I enjoyed it, but 2 was incredibly bare bones in the strangest of ways as I went into at the beginning of the year. You still have the textures are still, Dreamcast 2, not even Xbox 360 where this originated from.
Graphics on Dreamcast 2.
And yeah, there's an Origins tag on it, which indicates to me that there was like some revisions going on, but I couldn't tell you really what they were. There's my new favorite problem where I can't mark spots on the map myself as in to engage in side quests because they keep feeding me shit on the map to do in between while waiting for, important parts of the story to come up because there is like a weird clock system going on. But it's like, oh, but it's all the way over there. Do I have the time? If only I had a way to tell the map, I'd like to go there instead of constantly pausing the game and opening the map to fucking find out.
Are you trying to hold on? Are you trying to say that there's no like AAA game waypoint? Like you are 69 meters from your, like, you know what I mean? Like something as you're playing the game.
It will do those things for the important story points. But if you want to mark things on the map for yourself that you've been tipped off to, you can't do that.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that when this game was made, that was not necessarily a thing that you could do all the time, but today, oh boy.
To me, by calling it Origins, like I said, maybe you did some work on it since you put it out the first time. Not here.
I think it's probably exactly the 360 game, like straight up.
No way to
I don't know.
But I'll take everyone. I believe this until I'm proven wrong. The software is closed because an error occurred, but you see the way the game putters around it, single frames a second sometimes, and
it's rough.
You know that this was never working.
Look, if you can tell through a Switch video that something's dropping frames, it is dropping frames.
And I'm going to sound hypocritical after complaining about the stealth sections last game, but there's a whole lot of weird sections in this one where you have to crawl through like weird versions of buildings and fight zombies, and they have no real explanation as to where they come from. They're not the best. They function, so I'm just going to assume it goes along with York being crazy, and just go with it. It's kind of stupid, but it functions.
I feel like were they trying to do the thing of like Silent Hill where like the character's fears are the monsters or something like that? Was that like it? Or was it just not even as deep as that?
There's a lot of weird Twin Peaks shit they tried doing, but I don't think anyone really knew how to implement any of it in a meaningful way outside of storytelling. Like none of that was actually baked into the gameplay in any meaningful way. A lot of weird trippy shit where you go inside his head in between whatevers. But anyway, remember last time how there was a near naked bartender? There's none of that in Deadly Premonition 1, but we do get Goofy Banner with ourselves about real movies that existed, and I did love that in the car, and we have fishing in this one. There was no fishing in 2. We have fishing in 1, wherein you go fishing, and instead of catching fish, you end up catching junk half the time, and it just comes up as a tile of the item that you fish up. It is very, I don't know, it's absurd, to say the least.
A tile of the item that you picked up?
You know how you might go through an item on the menu and it's like there's like a little tile on the side to give you a little picture of it.
You're literally fishing up like the icon like from the menu?
Yes.
What the hell sense does that make?
Look, there are some very special people working on this game.
Yeah.
It's very special because, guys, you never see the fucking end coming to this. You really can't. And as broken as all of this game is, I want, in another decade or so, I want them to go ahead and make Deadly Premonition 3 as big of a problem as I had with these other 2 games.
I feel like he can't stop now.
there was a good more than 10 years in between those first two games, so I don't know how long it takes for them to come up with another one, but I want more of this weird-ass spoopy garbage because, I don't know, I feel like everything's either AAA or an indie, and we don't have that C game.
Well, we lost that in the PS3 360 era. Like, we were losing that anyway, I should say. Then it really went away. I feel like indies have stepped up to take up that middle ground because, like, it used to be just complete haves and have-nots. Now I feel like indies can get enough funding to make that middle stuff, but it's tough still. Like, there's not a whole lot of No More Heroes, right?
No, there isn't. But, it's just where we are.
Deadly Premonition 3, 2028 in Unreal Engine 5. What do you say, Steve?
They have a hard time enough with Unreal Engine 3. What makes you think they're going to figure out 5?
Because, reasons? Maybe not. Okay, let's take a break. We got a fair amount of big questions coming up after this. We're back. We didn't take a shower because Kevin's not here, and, with only 2 guys in the shower, it's kind of sad. Needs 3. 3's company.
I insisted on professionalism this week.
You mean Thursdays at the office aren't like everybody hit the showers days or something?
What job do you work, Andre?
Baseball team. Why do you ask? I mean, everyone just showers together every day, right? I mean, there's nothing unusual with that.
I didn't realize you worked at a baseball.
At a baseball. All right. Why don't you get us started, Steve?
Yeah, guys. The day after we recorded last time, the fucking Mario movie trailer dropped at New York Comic Con, and fine, I'll jump. You've all seen it dozens of times by now, I'm sure. So I'll just jump into it. Is the Mario voice that bad?
I want you to go first, because I'm going to get mad and yell at everybody. So I want to hear your opinion first.
Okay, because on one hand, I feel like we need to hear more. But on the other hand, Bowser, Kamek were borderline perfect for how little we heard from them. And I kind of hope their shorts on the Blu-ray is bonus material, because I felt the two of them were just... I just hope they just pick on each other the whole movie.
Jack Black was Bowser, right?
Yup.
Okay. Because it kind of looked like him, didn't it? Didn't Bowser kind of...
Yes.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like his Mario Sona.
Yeah.
Do not steal.
Did you see the edit where, like, someone put in the Kung Fu Panda skadoosh over Bowser's, like, talking?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought even Toad was good, even though he had, like, the one line. And that would have been very easy to be annoying, as we all know.
Mm-hmm. Just like Mario.
But, and that's the thing. I'm not saying we needed Charles Martinet to go, wahoo, yahoo, it's a me, Mario, for 90 minutes. But Chris Pratt did not make a strong first impression like these other roles did.
Okay. As someone who... I've been a Mario aficionado since I've been in preschool when I got that NES, okay? Someone who cares a great deal about the Mushroom Kingdom in general as like a world, not just like Mario games, but the Mushroom Kingdom. I am going to say this from the very depths of my soul. I don't fucking care. Mario and whoever the fuck else can sound like whatever the hell they want in this movie because it's a movie. It's not a game, and it doesn't need to sound like one. As long as it's not obnoxious, I'm with it. I don't fucking care if it's Chris Pratt, or whoever else just sounds like a dude as Mario. It's fine. I don't care. I can't imagine caring about it at all. It's fine.
Is it though?
Yeah, it really is. I had to mute Chris Pratt on Twitter. Not like his account. Like I had to mute the words Chris Pratt because I couldn't take it anymore.
Hold that thought. I think I'm just going to mute Chris Pratt's account because I don't want to hear from. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but it's just like I got so sick of it, Steve. It's just like even if you just like you thought it was okay or not a great first impression, is that any reason to light the internet on fire about it? Who cares?
It's not, but I think it to me, it says more about the other performances than it does about the titular Super Mario.
I guess. Good mustache, though, right? Good facial hair.
No ass, though.
No ass. Mario can't. Well, I mean,
he had his top off in Odyssey, but we can't show off his butt through the overalls. I don't need to see his ass, but there is no way a guy who runs and jumps a lot has no definition back there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I do need to see his ass. Okay, I'll just put it out there. Well, I'll take you further. I'll say what you were afraid to say. We need to see Mario's ass.
Hey, you know what happened just today, Andre?
Do tell.
Out of nowhere, like maybe a day or two ago, Konami just decided we're
moving on. You're trying to move me off of Mario's ass? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I was. Did we have more?
Apparently not. Fine. Jeez, just leave my ass hanging out to dry.
Okay, I'll be nice. What else do we got on Mario's ass?
Nothing. It's fine. No, it's better this way. It's funnier. Go do the same thing.
So Konami, out of fucking nowhere the other day, says, "Hey guys, we're having something called the Silent Hill Transmission Wednesday."
Transmission,
which is a fancy word for Silent Hill Direct.
We're just going to call it that, right? I mean,
you're out, yes. But
yeah, we're not calling it the Silent Hill Transmission.
Although, to their credit, they actually showed us some things, right? Silent Hill 2 remake. That's already one more game than I thought we were going to see out of this thing.
Okay, let's say it off the top. Both you and me thought it would be like, you can now play the Silent Hill game on PlayStation Plus Royale with Cheese and also the Silent Hill 2 game. Okay, bye. Right? And then it'd be over.
Yeah. I don't know why it had to be 40 minutes, but I honestly thought that's what we were going to get.
So, PS5 exclusive. That's a hammer. I actually kind of expected that, though.
Silent Hill is ostensibly a PlayStation, property in that way. I'm surprised. Well, not surprised, but I did expect this. I mean, they did sneak in also on PC. Don't sue us on the bottom, but
it's okay. This looks great. I heard from somebody else that it's Unreal Engine 5. I did not confirm that myself. If I want to play music for 2 seconds, I will confirm that. Here we go. Yes, we found a PlayStation blog post where
that makes it legal.
Yes, it definitely is built in Unreal Engine 5. I thought this looked great, Steve. This looked fucking, look, one of the promises from last generation that I've always wished could really come to fruition was like big alpha effects like volumetric fog. What better way to use that than Silent Hill? I mean, it's perfect.
I mean, yeah, and what was the joke I was going to make? It's not even a technical decision this time. It's a technical decision this time.
You can't remove it now. I mean, it's funny. Like, everyone like the N64 fog is famous, but like PS1 games did it too. Sometimes PS2, Silent Hill 2, but now, of course, when it's part of your atmosphere, it's different. This is one of those games where I was talking about last time, where if you're going to do 30 frames a second in this generation, you better look crazy. Silent Hill 2 Remake is one of those games where I think it would be best to 4K 60, turn on all the effects, ray tracing, whatever, and do 30 frames a second, because for that kind of maximum atmospheric game, it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm not as well versed in Silent Hill as everyone else is, but maybe it's because it's the spoopy month. But yeah, I'm looking at this.
Yeah, this is on the radar. This looks cool. There was something else though. I only expected the thing to be about this, but then there was more.
Yeah, Silent Hill Townfall by Annapurna and No Code. They're the guys that made Observation and Stories Untold. I've heard of them, but I've never played them.
But what is this? Is this like a Telltale game thing? Or like what? I don't understand.
I think that's kind of what they deal in. I need to play one of those other ones to be more familiar with their work.
I thought they made Life is Strange, but I guess they don't. I guess that's someone else.
That is not them, no.
But, I mean, that would be cool if they could do, again, really graphically intense, because like even on PS4, like the Telltale games already looked kind of like The Wolf Among Us is like one of my favorite games, but boy, it really looks like a PS3 game. You know what I mean? They didn't really upgrade their engine. If they can make an engine that takes advantage of today's spec and make a story game like that, if indeed that's what this game is, because I didn't really understand. It looked intriguing, but that's about it.
That's kind of been the theme of this particular presentation, things that we've started but haven't been too far along in, because, hey guys, we're making another Silent Hill movie, Return to Silent Hill, and we got Christoph Gans back to direct. Remember him from the first movie? Yeah, there was a first Silent Hill movie, and he directed it, and we got him back. And he's got pictures. They're real cool looking on what this movie's going to look like in another 3 or 4 years.
I like that original Silent Hill movie, probably before we saw Dynasty. I almost said Dinosaur Warriors. Dynasty Warriors. That was probably my favorite video game movie, Steve.
You know, I saw it in a very different circumstance, but I didn't see it, if you know what I mean.
Okay. But you're also not familiar with the games. I guess you don't really have to be, but...
Yeah, I mean, in general, because have you seen a Resident Evil movie?
Unfortunately, I saw like the very first one, and I'm like, nope, I'm never doing that again. And then they made like 1,400 more. Anyway, look, here's the thing. Also, though, in that thing where they're showing all the concept art, they were talking about games too. They were talking about bringing that to video games. So are they also making a game?
I think they talk about that slightly a little later, but not before they borrow a cue from the Sonic Central and show off this Silent Hill shopping network. Buy these beautiful figurines and decks and commemorative coins.
They should have played the music from like, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Wheel of Fortune having a shopping round.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Like, they should have played the music from that, basically, because it's like, they didn't...
It was so shameless, and I thought they were going to end the presentation there. I'm like, okay, you showed off some games. There's going to be a movie. Okay, we got to sell the merch now. But then they come in with Silent Hill Ascension.
Whoa. Hold on. I want to go back to Return to Silent Hill real quick, because before we go there, because is this like a shot-for-shot remake of like a Silent Hill game? Is it like a remake of the movie they already made? Because it's like, it's weird, right? Like, what is this? Is this just yet another telling of that? Because the movie was like pretty original. It didn't feature any characters and stuff from the games, but
he kept bringing up Silent Hill 2. Like, that might be a movie based on that.
But do we need a movie
based off the remake of a game we're going to buy soon? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, like the same story that we already like. I like the Silent Hill movie because he didn't try to like, okay, yes, the Resident Evil movie would have sucked if they tried to do the like Resident Evil 1 exactly, but a movie. That wouldn't have been good either, but it would have been better than what they did. So like, I like the Silent Hill movie as it is. I don't know. I wasn't clear about their direction here, but they do seem to be going for Silent Hill 2, the movie, but I guess
it's
whatever.
Clearly very early in development, and we'll forget about it. And then like in another 2 years, here's the teaser trailer. And then we'll have a better idea.
Well, if they come up with anything better than the ultimate pyramid head titty twister from the first movie, then we
I remember that.
Yeah, it'll be a success. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. Anyway, Silent Hill Ascension, something else I don't really understand what it is.
They don't really help you. It's some kind of browser movie experience by J.J. Abrams and the Dead by Daylight people, wherein we're all going to watch this movie on a browser and we're going to input our choices, and the end of the game experience type thing is going to be decided by committee. I mean, I went on the website to find more information as encouraged by the presentation, but it was just the same pieces of information, just, easier to read. So, which is not information at all.
It almost felt like they were advertising some sort of like Silent Hill escape room or something, but it obviously wasn't that. Yeah, it's not that. I didn't understand what this was.
I thought they were going to do a VR thing. They had that close up of the really big thing at the beginning, and I'm like, oh, it's a VR game. Who cares? And then they were like, thousands of you will have this girl's life in the ballots. I'm like, okay.
I thought you were going to give me a good old Aqua Teen Hunger Force thousands of years ago.
Oh, I haven't heard that in years. I don't think I could do that.
I thought you were. I thought that's where you were going for some reason. That's my lizard brain right now. There is one more thing, though, at the end. One more thing.
Yeah, they gave us a one more thing on this Silent Hill presentation here.
By the way, did you like how that, I guess she's Japanese, but that lady had, like, the best Japanese and the best English at the same time. Like, she was on it.
She was very no nonsense, but yeah. Yes, she was...
This whole thing was not just no nonsense. It was no fun either. It was like you described it as like a boardroom meeting. It was like very starchy.
If it wasn't for the not horniness they pumped in, it would have been just a bunch of people standing around a boardroom talking about Silent Hill. What are our prospects for Silent Hill for the next few years? We haven't done anything since we ruined the goodwill with PT, and we need to bring it back.
It's the best they could do was like, Okamoto-san, it looks like our CGI background has changed again.
And it kept changing.
Oh boy, now we're here, Okamoto-san. Yeah, but there was one more thing for something called, I guess, Silent Hill F, lowercase f. I would assume this is just another new Silent Hill game.
We got a very, I don't know how else to describe it, Japanese as opposed to the more Western-esque vibe I get from Silent Hill, wherein there's a girl walking down a street and then she gets engulfed by a cherry blossom.
Yeah, that was, and then her face falls off. That was, yeah. That was kind of freaky. It kind of got me, actually, because I was just like, oh, wait, she's still alive. Oh, wait, no, she's not.
oh, no, she's dead.
Yeah.
But, no data or anything on that one, but my eyeballs on that one too.
Yeah, I think that was the appeal, though, of Silent Hill is that, and Resident Evil for that matter, is that it's like middle of nowhere, Midwestern America, like Japanese telling stories about America. To me, that's like kind of the appeal of it. So to do something that is a more like Japanese horror take is interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes. There doesn't seem to be a development team attached to it. There were a bunch of names attached to, there was this one name that I sort of recognized from a few visual novels. I forget his name right now. I'm bad at this, but they weren't as vocal with who was making this as opposed to the rest of these projects.
They're probably not ready to say yet. It's probably some shitty like Idea Factory or like...
Don't do that to me. This looked cool.
CyberConnect 2 is making this. All right, no, that was a good presentation. It was very starchy and like, whatever, but this was much more than I bargained for. I know there was rumors about a Silent Hill 2 remake, but I don't know. I'm not invested in Silent Hill enough to like really like have bought those, but I guess it was true.
This is the time where I admit to the internet the only Silent Hill I played all the way through was Shattered Memories on Wii, so...
It wasn't that bad.
I liked it, but I'm not well-versed in Silent Hill like other horror-y properties?
I played the first 3 fairly extensively and have dabbled in the rest here and there, including that Wii one. I like 3 the most, but everyone likes 2, so that's getting the remake, of course. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's going to be great.
You don't. So are we going to go halvesies on the puppy computer room figurine?
No, we are not. The stupid, goofy endings of those games. We are not buying a figurine of the dog ending.
Because even I know about the dog ending.
It's dumb. Do you know about the UFO ending?
I heard of the UFO ending, but the dog ending is more famous.
It's so dumb. Anyway, I actually didn't even look at how much they were. They probably didn't even say in that Home Shopping Network presentation, but anyway. All right, so that was that. That was good. Next big question, Steve.
Guys, Meta announced the Quest Pro for a cool $1499.99, and
oh my god,
who has that kind of money?
Let me just dig in the couch for some spare change. Let me come right up with that. I mean, come on, man, $1,500.
We're not VR people, but if we're going to take a genuine look at it, what would it take for us to pretend to be VR people?
I mean, outside of the prerequisite answers, like it better give me a blowjob or whatever. Like, I'm trying to forget about VR. I'm trying to think of any video game thing that I would pay $1,500 for. I bet it exists, but I can't come up with it. Like, can you? I honestly cannot think of something that I would pay that much money for, whether I had the money or not, which I do not.
Yeah, Andre, I don't have $1,500 either. And that's really where I would need to start. I need to pay significantly less money for one. And then I needed to do a bit more than the Iron Man files his taxes simulator. Because
would you play Kirby does his taxes?
Yes, but not for $1,500. And not having a headache at the end. That would be a big plus for me too. I don't care if you stick legs on it. If you stick legs on your gross ass me's, the tech's not there yet. I don't think.
They have legs. Everybody, welcome to 2006.
The future.
Oh boy, it doesn't even look as good as the Me Plaza.
No,
it's just like, come on. They don't even have an Everybody Votes channel.
The Me Plaza had charm. What does this have other than Zuckerberg like stroking a dick that isn't there?
And it had Kazumi Totaka's great music too. Let's not forget.
That's not on Meta either.
No. Boy, I don't know. There's nothing that will get me to pay that, especially not for VR, at least not right now. Okay, we gotta talk about the controversy of the week. So, and of course, it's about Bayonetta 3. In case you don't know, Helena Taylor, the original voice actor for Bayonetta, took to Twitter to reveal that the reason why she's not the voice in Bayonetta 3 is because she was only offered $4,000 for her services, so she says. And she told people to boycott the game. She said of Jennifer Hale, the new voice actress, "You are not the real Bayonetta, I am." She made it like a whole thing. She went after her. Hideki Kamiya fired back to that with a tweet of his own, saying, quote, "Sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's all I can tell for now." End quote. That's where the story started, and we were like, oh no, right? And this evolved over the weekend until we get to Monday, where Jason Schreier, as he does, he did some digging, because he probably saw that, and it's like, oh shit. You know, oh god, imagine being so connected as a guy like him and seeing that happen and being like, it's go time, like I'm gonna get some dirt.
This is why I get the clicks.
Yep. Yo, and he's good at what he does, because a few days later Jason Schreier pops up with some new information that Helena Taylor was actually offered $3,000 or $4,000 per session. Not total, per session, over what would have been at least 4 or 5 sessions, I guess.
This is actually pretty big money for voiceover work. Don't ask me why I know that. It'll just make me cry.
And Helen Taylor apparently wanted 6 figures plus residuals, and talks broke down from there. That's what happened. VGC also corroborated this info. Jason Schreier works for Bloomberg. That's who we reported it for. And other people have corroborated this with their own sources. This is true. Okay. Usually this is a part where I break into the story with like a question, but Steve, I don't have it. I just don't know what to do with this. This is wild.
Well, that's almost a pretty big metaphor for life, isn't it? Everything, we all want things to be he said, she said, but it's all very gray, isn't it, Andre?
Okay, let me put it to you this way. I think if you want to say anything, everyone, it's the Twitter mob, right? Like everyone just jumped on her side, and we're just out here believing everything everyone says.
She had a 7-part video. Of course she's right.
Yeah, and it's just like, we're going to boycott the game. First of all, no the fuck you're not. Y'all ain't boycotting shit.
You people didn't even boycott Call of Duty when you all said you were gonna.
Yeah, and you're not gonna, okay? Y'all were mad at like HBO Max and Warner Brothers and Discovery and whatever the fuck else was going on, and y'all went out there and bought that shit to watch House of the Dragons. We know you are, okay? So shut up. Like, you're not boycotting shit, and you know it. Not that you have to. Just don't pretend that you are. Okay, that's one thing.
My favorite are when the people that never indicated they were a fan of a thing before said, well, I'm not buying the game either. Like, okay.
Yeah. Well, when this inevitably sells its typical, like, 400,000 copies or whatever a Bayonetta game sells, and we were like, see, what a flop or whatever. And it's like, that's what Bayonetta games do. They're not big sellers. Anyway. I'm not looking forward to that discussion in a couple of weeks. Actually, what I am looking forward to is a discussion next big deal where I will be talking about Bayonetta 3 because it is almost here, baby. I cannot believe it. Anyway, another thing I didn't like about this was attacking Jennifer Hale. Like, no matter what, even if you got lowballed and you said no, you can't do that to another voice actor. Like, that's so uncool, but everyone just like, they want to be part of the thing, right? Oh, let's boycott a game. It's time to cancel something, right? And I'm not doing the cancel culture thing and blah, blah, blah. Don't come at me with that. I'm just saying when Twitter makes up its mind about something, like something is bad, all the other facts don't matter. I'm
remembering back in Metal Gear 5 times where Dave Hayter was swapped out for real actor. Famous actor Kiefer Sutherland, and everyone threw a hissy fit about that. I'm not imagining this, am I? Do you remember this discourse?
This happened.
And I feel like that was more amicably resolved than this. So I think we're all just kind of we all want that way to the right answer, right? We don't have time to go over facts. We can't all be Jason Schreier.
I mean, yeah, but like we can also not like jump to crazy conclusions and just believe people because they said stuff on the internet and made videos about it. And also, like, some people are trying to walk it back now and be like, we were just talking about treating, paying voice actors fairly. And it's like, yeah, you were, but why were you talking about that? Right? That didn't come from nowhere. That information doesn't exist in a vacuum.
That is something that needs to be addressed on a bigger level, but again, and the way Kamiya handled it, wherein he could have easily, not said anything instead of what he did and got removed from Twitter for a day or two because he blocked that many accounts.
They probably thought, yeah, he got shadow banned before he deactivated his account for like a bit. That was so weird.
And then he came back tweeting gibberish.
Yeah, just absolute gibberish. That's the thing, though, about Kamiya. And look, he deserves the flack he's gotten for this, no matter what, because that's not the professional thing to say. But that's who the man is. He's been doing this for years. Everyone thought his like xenophobia, like only tweet at me in Japanese or I'll block you, or like or just general bad attitude was cute. It's not so cute anymore, is it? Why? Like the flip on him with the public was really interesting to see, because it's like he's told you who he was for years. Why is this a problem now? Not that it shouldn't be. I'm just saying that like now this made it a problem. Did we need a villain in the story so bad?
We all want to either cheer on Taylor or pick on Kamiya, and yes, there was a lot of bad play on these sides, but even if we all boycotted the game, even if everyone voted with their money and didn't buy Bayonetta 3 next week, you wouldn't be hurting either one of them. That would essentially be hurting all the little people at Platinum that had to spend the past 5 years that were working on the game. And as we keep bringing up on this show, Platinum's not doing so hot right now.
Nope.
They can't. This has to be... They already had to be, sweating their ass off after the Babylon Fall debacle, and I'm sure they're still paying. I'm sure he still, shits a little brick every time someone says, Scalebound anywhere near him.
This makes me reevaluate Scalebound a little bit, honestly. Like with the way that went down with Microsoft. I mean, like, he's such a dick. He always seems to have respected his bosses. He respects the people he needs to respect. Everyone else is an insect, right? So it's like he could have been, I don't know. It makes me look at that whole situation a little bit differently. That's if I'm going to come away with this with anything with him.
But we're just too early in that story to come. I think we might be looking at Platinum or not even looking at Platinum anymore in a whole new light come next year. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. It's like the Electronic Arts situation, right? Whenever they shut down a studio, they would never shut down so-and-so when they do it. They always do it.
Every time.
They'll never shut down BioWare. Well, one more Mass Effect Andromeda and they will. One more Anthem and they will.
They're not going to shut down Maxis. They're a staple of the industry.
Guess what?
Still bitter about that one.
Me too. That hurts the most. I loved Maxis. Well, not just a SimCity person. I really enjoyed all their games. Even Spore. Like Spore a lot.
I'm so sorry.
Wow. Really?
I don't know. There was a lot of dick monsters on Spore.
So what? What's wrong with dicks? I'm sure there's dicks in space.
Yeah, but there's also not dicks in space.
Is that Maxis's fault that everyone wanted to make a dick?
No, and I guess that spins us back to the nature of people, We can't trust them. I
mean, how many dick constellations did you see in Animal Crossing Wild World? I mean, like, that's all anyone made.
Yep.
Okay, so, I guess that's Look, the world is full of dicks. We're just living in it.
Also, don't be one of the dicks.
I mean, I guess.
It's not that hard. He said hard.
But don't. Okay.
Guys, Babylon's Fall failed pretty hard, right? It failed so hard that Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, which Steve loves, not to death, but enough on his cell phone, is also going to die in January.
Why is this Babylon's Fall's fault?
I feel like it failed so hard that it gets spilled over into other similar-ish ventures.
Then why is Final Fantasy XI still up?
Because people like that game.
Unfortunately. I don't know. I mean, like you said, you seem to enjoy this game. Are you really going to miss it a whole fuck of a lot? Are they doing any crazy things like giving away all the premium currency or whatever?
I wish they were doing that, but no. Final Fantasy VII, the First Soldier, was never a perfect game. It never felt right on mobile. It kept having these weird glitches and things where it would just disconnect you from games if you weren't connected just so, and even if you were just so, and I don't think they really felt like fixing the infrastructure there. They had some great ideas. They made 2 whole big arenas for you to fight in and had the seasonal event. They did everything they were supposed to do, and I was having a lot of fun with it, and I guess I'll be sad to see it go, but, I didn't spend any money on it. No true love lost.
I never played it. I think during that test period, it was like only testing on Android or something. I never saw it on the iOS App Store or whatever. So I never really thought about it, and they never advertised it. You never talked about it, so I never remembered that it existed. So
it's funny because the whole conceit of the game is that we're all training to get into soldier. That's you're the first soldier. It's funny. We all logged into the game one day, and we all got this letter from President Shinra. Congratulations, you made it into Shinra. Please continue into the soldier. Please continue training until the time comes of your deployment. We're like, oh, is this more of an expansion? And then a whole other notice of closure of the game. Oh.
So they sent everyone the same thing. You're on the soldier. Okay, the game's over. Bye.
and then, not only that, it's spoopy Halloween time, and like we're still gonna keep doing this for however long. Like last year, we had a fun Christmas event, and we did a whole summer event with weird swimsuits and floaties and things. I'm sorry.
Did Cloud have nipples?
Cloud wasn't in the game.
Then what's the point? Then no wonder this failed.
Well, Cloud was sort of in the game, but it doesn't matter anymore because it's going down in 2 months.
Then who were the swimsuits for? Your fake, like, Zach Fair looking motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'll miss it.
Okay, real quick before a break. Next Splatfest is Pokemon. Grass, fire, water type. Those are the 3 things. I want to guess what Steve is going to pick. I haven't really thought about this at all. I am going to say you are going to pick fire.
I am going to pick grass.
Ah, Jesus fucking Christ.
Why is Steve going to pick grass? Steve did the math, as basic as it was, and Steve picked the grass starter more than the other starters, so it just feels right.
I'm uncomfortable with the amount of talking to third person right now. I gotta tell you. I always feel like something bad's about to happen when you do. Secondly,
who says it's not?
I would rather be water. I have to pick grass because a certain someone who's a friend of the show is definitely picking grass, and I guess I want to play Splatfest with someone that weekend, huh? So I guess I gotta be grass. We're all gonna be grass.
Sounds like a real grassy pickle for you to be in.
I don't know why anyone wouldn't want blue ink over green ink, but what the fuck do I know, huh?
I've only picked the water starter twice. Well, once, but I'm going to pick it again in Violet and Scarlet.
What's that? Just kidding, I know what that is. We'll be right back. We're back, bitch.
Hey.
What?
That's not nice.
Says who?
Says me, you know. I drove all the way here to the basement to record this show, and you're calling me a bitch? We'll see who's the bitch in a little bit. Anyway.
Wow. I mean, you could have said that in the shower in the first segment. Anyway, I want to be an old man for a sec and just complain about something in general. Yo, Twitter. You have no chill for spoilers anymore on anything. What the hell is going on out there? I remember when Stray came out this summer, and you just couldn't keep, it was endless. All the videos and pictures. Oh, look at this cute little thing you can do. Look at this. Look at that. I get everyone wants to share. We all have a share button. That doesn't mean you should be so fucking reckless with it. I was getting pissed. I actually did one of those posts Jesus Christ, everyone's just spoiling. And I hate doing that kind of stuff because it feels like I'm talking about a certain person when I'm really not. And I got more than one person saying, hey, sorry if that was me. And I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm sorry. So I felt even bad for doing it. But it's just I couldn't hold it in anymore. Everyone wouldn't shut the fuck up. I feel like if there's any game that I care about, I better not even go on social media when it comes out.
No, I've been doing this for a while now. Back when Fire Emblem 3 Houses came out, I had to go to the mute list and mute Fire Emblem, 3 houses, the names of the house leaders. I had to mute all kinds of shit to make sure I didn't see any of that on my timeline. And I had to do it again this year because I can't afford every video game as it comes out. I want to play Xenoblade 3 eventually. But you're all zipping through the game like you don't have any other obligations in the world.
Yeah.
People don't have work or school.
Some people don't. Which is fine, but don't spoil it for everybody, man. Look, you can make a few posts about something. I do it all the time when I'm playing games. I love to share. But, like, come on, man.
I would love to be able to do what we had on Miiverse, where we can tag things as spoiler, and it would block it out unless someone explicitly made you go do it. Otherwise, you didn't see it. We need that elsewhere.
I feel like, well, because you know how on Twitter you can do the thing for pictures and say sexual content or whatever, and like you can like block it. And
I did that exactly once so far. Yeah,
well, I did as like a goof, but like I think it was like sexual content. It was like a hot dog or something like that. Yeah. I don't know what I did, but like maybe they should have that for spoiler. What they really need to have it for is text. Because you know how nowadays, like, you can have it where, like, you see it on the Fine Time account sometimes, where they gave me the privilege to, like, say, picture of the day, or hot take, or whatever. One of them needs to be spoilers, or, I don't know, maybe they can work something out.
Yeah. Look, I understand that after a while, things enter the zeitgeist. Sheik is Zelda in a costume. Lucina was Marth wearing a mask. We know. But when the game just came out, let us all play it first.
Yeah. There was a stray thing that really pissed me off. There was something else that did too recently, and I feel like this is going to happen in Bayonetta 3, so I'm muting that shit until I'm done. By the way, you know how I found out about Sheik?
How did you find out about Sheik?
When I played Smash Brothers Melee.
You didn't finish Ocarina of Time?
I got to like the dark dungeon or whatever. And I was like, and the boss was so fucking annoying. And I was just like, I'm so sick of trying all my items. I'm so fucking done with this game. I've hated every second of it. I'm not playing it anymore. So I didn't beat the game until that GameCube disc of like the collection. Mm-hmm. That's when I beat the game. And I forced myself to because, you know how I feel about Ocarina. But yeah, no, that's how I found out about Sheik. But no, it's enough, man. It's enough.
Soylent Green is made of people.
I would imagine some people found out about Fiora in the original Xenoblade because of Shulk's special and like Ultimate or whatever. But it's been long enough, right? Like, that's fine.
That was more than a decade later.
Yeah, you can do that. But this... It's too much. Chill, everybody. Chill. You know what I hate that people think is so cute and it's not? When they do things like spoilers out of context for whatever. It's not out of context at all.
It's obviously for a plot point that you're about to talk about.
Yeah, so like, how about don't do that? How about don't say your little quips and, oh God, when I got to this, shut up. Everyone shut up! There, I'm done. Till the next time.
You want to play a different kind of game, Andre?
In the shower?
Not in the shower.
Okay, what kind of game?
How about a real spoopy edition of Real or Fake?
Real or Fake what?
Pokermans! Woo! So, for everyone playing along at home, Real or Fake Pokemon is where I conjure a list of real and fake Pokemon, and our benevolent host Andre has to guess whether they are real or they are fake.
Those are my only two choices?
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of help today because Kevin's not here to wince one way or the other, and even though I don't have visual aids like I did for your birthday, these are all ghosty, spoopy Pokemon today because we're in October. And as all the real Poke fans know, it can get really creepy out there in the Pokedex. So there's going to be a little brief ghost story-ish sort of sentence or two that's going to accompany each one. And you could use this information to determine, is Game Freak really fucked up or is Steve?
Okay. I feel like that's the game you guys played when we played JAV titles, Real or Fake.
Yeah, I guess it sort of is.
Anyway, okay.
Are you ready to start this one?
No, but we're going to start anyway. God, I just hope I do better than if anyone doesn't remember, on my birthday, I went 1 for 10. I got one of them right. I don't know how many we're going to do today. We'll play it by ear, but yeah.
All right, we'll start off with Drifloon. He's a pretty unassuming looking balloon-like creature. He has a habit of kidnapping unattended children and just escorting them away floating them away to the afterlife. Because of this habit, you can guess that they don't really like fat kids that much.
What the hell just happened? Drifloon, you said?
Drifloon.
This has got to be fake.
Drifloon is real.
No fucking way in the world.
Are you even ready for the next one?
No, what just happened? Okay, yeah, lay it on me. Lay it on me. Next one.
Plowtergeist. He's a ghost ox pulling a ghost plow. The first one was born after living Pokemon who helped tilled the fields at a farm in a farm town were unduly blamed for a poor harvest.
Plowtergeist.
Plowtergeist.
If this isn't fake, I'm never playing a Pokemon again.
Plowtergeist is fake.
Oh my god, thank you. Jesus Christ. I don't know what to do after the first one. Oh my god. All right. Lay it on me. Next one. I'm ready. Sort of.
We got Lappant. He looks like a street lamp, and he's known to appear to people just before they die to presumably take their remaining life force.
Lampant. God, I want to phone a friend. I would call Kevin right now if he wasn't knee-deep in being busy. Or probably in bed. I am going to say this is fake. Lampant.
Lampant is real.
Jesus Christ almighty in heaven. 6 pound, 4 ounce baby Jesus.
I think that might be about what Lampant weighs. I don't have the Pokedex handy.
I was trying to think of Talladega Nights. I forget how
Yeah.
what he
That
said.
is a long time ago. That's
Yeah.
how old we are.
Yeah.
It just came out last week. What are you talking about? Let's move on to Solp.
Solp.
He's a smaller spirit. He's found gathering very small slivers of soap in baths and showers and things. They start out looking innocent enough, but they find enough and they start getting enough power to draw in entire bars of soap, and that's when dealing with one gets a little hairy.
Solp. Oh boy. I want Solp to be real. I feel like in my heart of hearts, it's fake. I want it to be real. I'm going to say it's real.
Solp is sadly fake.
Yeah, see, I knew it. God damn. Anyone I want to be real. I wanted to believe in Solp. You tricked me. Isn't that? I guess that's the point of the game, huh?
Yeah, especially today.
All right. We got time for a couple more. Keep going.
We got Brackabrick, a generally good-natured spirit. He's found defending historical landmarks from more malicious forces, but this good nature is easily flipped if its home is threatened with radical change. Like, we would call it gentrification, but it's not called that in-game, obviously. Brackabrick.
Brackabrick. This sounds realish. I don't know why I'm on the fake train today, the fake news train. I'm going to say it's fake.
Brackabrick is fake.
Okay. See? All right. Let's do a couple more real quick.
All right, Mimikyu. He wants to be loved, but he has a form that drains souls when you look at it. So he tends to adopt the forms of other more popular Pokemon via cosplay it stitches itself. They mostly look like weird Pikachus.
Mimikyu. I feel this feels real-ish. Weird Pikachus? They do like to. I mean, they can't have enough Pikachu likes. I mean, there's not a ton, but what's that blue one? There's like a blue Pikachu, right? Pika Blue.
Marill. We said they eventually settled on Marill, but yes,
Marill. I'm gonna say this is real. This is real.
Mimikyu is real.
Mimikyu is real. Okay. I feel like I've seen a Mimikyu before, actually.
He's in Smash. He drags you under and wails on you a bunch, and I think it's even a KO if you're damaged enough.
Does it have like a skirt, for lack of a better term, that's like jagged, like a Charlie Brown shirt? Yeah! I've seen that thing before. I would have never put two and two together. Okay. Let's do one more.
Okay, one more. Okay, we got Dhelmise.
Dhelmise.
They live on the ocean floor. They kind of look like an anchor, and they got these weird seaweed-like appendages that they use to hunt prey, or, I guess you can call it prey, like giant ships or very large water Pokemon.
Name one more time.
Dhelmise.
Dhelmise. Oh, it sounds real, but I'm gonna say real.
Dhelmise is real.
Okay. Oh boy, look. I got more than one right this time, so I I feel like that's a victory over May. That's for sure. Jesus Christ. Okay, that was good. I enjoyed that, and thanks for the spoopy stories. That added a nice. Maybe when Christmas rolls around, you can give me some Christmas stories. I don't think there's any Christmas Pokemon though.
I think there's like one.
Yeah, isn't there one that's like holly and berries or something? Or am I making that up? Or
you might be making a fake one now.
I'm not saying it's like holly with like. I'm not saying it's mistletoe with eyes. I'm just saying that it's like. I don't know. I think I'm making shit up, though.
I might be able to. Never mind.
Okay.
I already ruined that. I already ruined any potential thing by telling you there's only one.
Well, look. If they were all fake, though, I wouldn't know the difference. I would still keep, plugging away at it. All right. It is not almost Halloween, but Halloween is coming up soon. And we're two fat guys. We like sweets. We thought it would just be fun to give our hot takes on Halloween candy. So, like, a lot of people rank them or whatever, and I guess we thought about doing that, but this show is hot, baby. We're hot. We got hot takes. So let's just fire off our hottest Halloween candy takes, Steve. What do you think?
I think that is fine. No? Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Chocolate's better than other candy. I know that shouldn't be so. It doesn't feel controversial until I go on the internet and say, "No, I like gumdrops." Actually,
so any chocolate. So you're saying you'd rather have a Three Musketeers than like anything like dots or gummy worms or like anything?
Okay,
there's
dots
nothing.
Are good. Dots, I'm gonna just chuck at your head if you give them to me.
Yo, dots are hella good. What are you talking about? Oh my god, I'm already mad at you.
I mean, to be fair, the Halloween version of anything is just gonna be stale. It is always stale the minute it gets to your house. I'm not talking about miniatures that you can get all the time, but once you stick a pumpkin on it or a ghost, stale. Forget it. It's just nasty.
So you're saying Halloween candy shaped like a Halloween object, like specifically made for Halloween?
Or even if it's just got the label on there.
Why are they stale though? Why shouldn't they have been made like in the last few months?
They should, but I feel like there's a weird chalky consistency to the chocolate, at least, unless we're talking about Reese's Pumpkins. Like, just give me all the Reese's Pumpkins. But
I didn't have this written down, but I kind of want to say it. Reese's Pieces are like they're like the superior Reese's product. They're way better than Cups. Way better than white chocolate cups or any of those other ones. Or the fake Twix, like the Reese's whatever, the sticks. Those are fine. But like...
Those are just...
You don't like those? I think they're fine. But Reese's Pieces are the best to me. Like, I think that's unassailable.
I like Twix, but not Twix. I like Reese's Pieces, but I don't like them that much.
I'm sorry. We didn't talk about the chocolate thing enough. You would rather have, like, you would put a Milky Way above, like, literally anything. Like, if it has chocolate, it is immediately superior.
I guess I grew into liking certain other candies, but staples from when I was younger, like Dots, as you said, but I never saw Dots any other time of year, by the way, just the tiny little ones around Halloween. And then until I got older. And Twizzlers, lots of people like Twizzlers. I don't care for them at all.
They're fine. They're okay.
Not even, no, you got to have grape red vines. Nah, I really don't. I just don't like licorice that much.
What about like licorice, like black licorice?
I just don't care for it.
Yeah, I don't. No thanks. Okay, here's my hottest one now that you've said some of yours. My hottest one is the one I get yelled at for every year. And I'm going to say it again. Candy corn is good, actually. I feel like none of you hated on candy corn until the internet happened and everyone decided candy corn was bad. Like, I feel like bad groupthink is going on here. Candy corn is fucking fine. And in fact, I think it's better than fine. I like it. I'm not saying I go out of my way for it. I buy big bags of candy corn every year, nothing like that. I am saying that it's good. And everyone shut up. Candy corn is good, actually.
I didn't like that when I was younger either. Maybe, I don't know if they were all just stale or something, or out way too long. Like, what's it supposed to be? If it's so good, what is a good candy corn?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, isn't the taste of candy corn ubiquitous? It feels, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
I feel like my teeth are going to shatter long before I actually taste one, so.
Shatter? Like they're hard or something?
Yes.
They're not that hard. They're not like hard candy.
I feel like all the ones I had might as well have been.
That doesn't make any sense. Are you sure your teeth aren't made of balsa wood or something? Or like,
my teeth are fine.
I mean,
go see your dentist if you can afford it, kids.
I've never thought of candy corn as hard. They're not soft.
No, I'm not saying they're supposed to be, but what is it supposed to taste like?
I don't know how to describe the taste of candy corn. I've never.
So sugar?
Yeah.
Colored sugar?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Corn syrup? I really don't know.
And that's why we call it candy corn.
But it's good. Everyone shut up, okay? It's fine. But as much as not made fun, but talking about your chocolate takes, my favorite candy is Milky Way. Milky Way is the king. Everyone else is playing for second. That doesn't mean I like everything chocolate more than everything else. It's just that Milky Way to me is perfection. Would you agree? What is your favorite like chocolate bar? Are you a Snickers guy, or you like because Milky Way for me can't be beat.
See, I like Milky Way, of course, but I like the candy bars with nuts in them. Maybe it makes me feel like a tough guy because everyone's allergic to nuts these days, but I just like that extra crunch in there. So I gotta say, even Snickers over Milky Way in this particular instance. But the Hershey's with almonds, the Mr. Good bars, Nutrageous is from back in the day. I miss those until they recycle them back out every few years. What about Payday? Even though it doesn't have chocolate, I like a Payday. I like Payday too. 100 Grand is a piece of shit though. Fuck that thing. I don't like that thing at all. No, 100 Grand is overcompensating for something. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with 100 Grand, but no thanks. And you know what else? I don't like Twix, and I'm tired of pretending they're good. You don't like Twix? No, the chocolate's not good. The cookie's not good. Even the peanut butter one sort of makes it passable, but I don't care how much cute marketing you do. Oh, it's the left Twix. It's the right Twix. Better not mix them up. I don't care. I don't. I put up with them when I was a kid because, okay, this was free candy for the year. But now that I'm an adult and I can buy my own candy, if I ever eat a Twix again, it'll be too soon. Wow, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that about Twix. I like Twix. I would even say that I like Twix a lot. And my favorite part is the cookie, actually. So that's a weird one. I like peanut butter Twix fine, but I prefer the classic because I'm a caramel freak. Read into that how you want. Smarties, Steve.
I don't understand why we get these every year. And a lot of them, they're not good.
Because you can go to the dollar store and get a big ass bag of 1,000 for $1.
They're so bad, though. I don't even eat them if I'm out of all the other candy. They're rabbit food. Literally rabbit food. My sister had rabbits growing up, typically, and we'd pop. They love it, the Smarties. I don't even know if we're supposed to feed them Smarties. Probably not. We fed them Smarties. They chewed them shits all the time.
It's like the hearts, right? They're the sweethearts. They that went away for a few years, but then they came back. It's chalk and sugar, and sometimes I feel like they forget the sugar.
Look, I'm not a big fan of the sweethearts. You're talking about the Valentine's ones.
The Valentine's hearts, yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm not a huge fan of those. I think they're better than Smarties. I mean, I understand we're talking about a low bar here, but
when we're I don't know. It's like Smarties and the Sweethearts are at the bottom, and then the next step up is what? Like a Tootsie Roll? Because, I don't really care for those either.
Tootsie Rolls are fine. When I was a kid, I was just like, I was very kind of like, I guess if that's all there is. How do you feel about a York peppermint patty?
I'm not a big mint person, but I understand the appeal.
Yeah, but not even those, because I'm not a mint person either, but I make the exception for those. Those are really good to me. It might be the only mint thing that I like.
Sometimes, if I'm really feeling it, I will get a York peppermint patty.
But that's one thing that can't be stale. They got to be like, them shits got to be fresh, like real soft.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Because if you ever had a stale York peppermint patty, those are no good at all.
Yes, I have. That's why that's the other reason why it's like, I really got to be in the mood for one.
This almost sounds contradictory to what I previously said about Smarties, but Necco wafers are good, actually. They're fine. Maybe good is a little strong, but I don't like people putting them in the same category as Smarties. Those are way better than Smarties. I don't think they taste like chalk or whatever.
I always get a little confused here because we're reaching the little bit of territory where things have the same name here and in Canada, but they're two different candies. So I'm forgetting if it's this or Spree where we don't like it, or something else where we don't like them down here. And then people like Kevin will be like, what the hell are you talking about? These are amazing. And then you actually see a picture of a Canadian one when they're talking about it on their I Love Candy thread. Like, well, of course that looks good.
Well, I like Necco wafers and Spree. So I'm covered either way there. Spree is an excellent, underrated Halloween candy because it's one of the ones that come in the pouches, like M&Ms or whatever. Not like in a little lot, like a tiny roll, like you would get a whole bunch at the store,
right?
But no, I'm a fan of the Spree.
I haven't had a Spree in a while. Maybe
me either. Because when I was a kid, I really liked the sour stuff. Even before they came out with like the crazy sour stuff, like Warheads or whatever, like anything of that nature. Because Lemon Heads, shit like that. But one more hot take that I had. What the fuck are those things called? It's like the strawberry flavored hard candy and it has like strawberry inside, right? Like jelly, not jelly, but like some sort of strawberry goo. And then they're wrapped up in that strawberry paper that looks like a strawberry.
I know exactly what you're talking about because the same sort of people would give them out every year. The old people types were like, children love candy. And that would be what They like scooped a whole bunch out of their candy bowl, and that's what they gave out on Halloween.
Dog, I am 40 years old. I've never seen those for sale. I don't even know where you get those.
I have seen them at CVS, and they're like sold in this generic CVS bag. It's like they don't even have a brand. It's like this mystery CVS thing, like, yeah, we're selling this shit in a pouch for $2. Right next to we're selling these nuts in a bag for $2, and we're selling these gummy worms in a bag for $2 instead of. But those are the ones that don't have a real quote unquote real counterpart on the shelf. That, I don't know what they're called either.
Yeah, well,
I thought I was going to be smart and look it up beforehand, but no, I'm going to leave it as a mystery. What the hell are they? Let us know in the comments.
I'm just glad you know what the hell I'm talking about, because I was afraid I was going to get on here. You'd be like, what is this? Okay, so I'm glad you at least know what I mean. And I'm sure a lot of other people do. If you know what that is, tell us, because I have no idea. But give me another hot take. I want some more candy hot takes.
Yeah, this is another one everyone wants to nail people like me to the cross for. Starburst. I like the orange and lemon ones more than the other ones. I feel like every year there's lemon Starburst slander, and I don't understand why.
As I've probably said on the show many times, lemon is my favorite flavor of anything. So lemon heads, as I said previously, were like my favorite candy growing up. That wasn't like a Milky Way.
What is a lemon head?
Lemon heads are they're round. They're yellow, obviously. They're very super lemony and tart, and they have like a sugary outer shell and then like a hard center.
Is that also lemony?
Yeah. It's also lemony, but it's the outside sugary part that's like really lemony and yellow, and then it has a white hard center. So it's like an outside coating.
I remember seeing those as a kid in those weird 4 or 3-sided gumball-ish machines with the candy in them, the ones with the Mike and Ikes and the whatever ones. No, you'd pay a quarter and get a, like a gumball sort of situation like that way. And that's how I would see them, but they were never branded as anything.
Yeah, they're lemon. Yeah, no. They're lemon heads, and then but those were the really big ones. I think that come out of the vending machine. The small ones came in like the box, like you get like Mike and Ike's or something. You get like a box of lemon heads.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember Cherry Clan?
No.
Okay. Those were like the same like kind of box, and they were the same thing. Only they were red and they were cherry flavored. They were kind of from the same family, if you will.
Although what you're reminding me about now is lemon warheads, which I haven't had in years, and I think only
warheads.
And the lemon ones in particular, I think only a lemon would be more. Actually, sucking on a lemon was more sour than that first minute.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. No, I like, so that is to say, I like lemon Starburst. Orange is typically my least favorite flavor of stuff, so those kind of sit. Whether it's Starburst, whether it's Otter Pops, anything. Orange is usually the one I don't want. So, but no, lemon. I never seen any lemon Starburst slander. That's unconscionable to me. Unconscionable.
But while we're on Starburst, have you ever seen anyone buy the other variants, the tropical or those other weird ones?
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like I just feel like those are ones that people just buy and like, they're out of the regular ones.
No, some people only like tropical. I don't know, maybe it's a California thing or something, but no, out here they were like very popular. As popular, I would say.
I didn't have this on my list either, but can we just talk about real quick how great it is that the Lime Skittle is back?
Is it?
Yeah, it came back last year, I think, after years under green apple tyranny.
I haven't had a whole lot of Skittles recently, but I felt like something was different about them, and that was probably it.
There was a brief period where they tried to dangle us along, like, okay, we're going to make a bag of all Lime Skittles. Is that what you assholes want? You just want Lime Skittles? Well, that's what we're going to sell you for a month.
Like, oops, all berries or something, but
pretty
Skittles?
Much.
Yeah.
And if you buy them, well, think about putting them the rest in the bag, even though these marketing decisions are made months in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Just assholes all the way down.
I'm out of candy takes, really, unless you got any more.
Just one more. As I got older, I think I got into the gummy things more. Bears, worms, Sour Patch Kids.
I was going to say, you got to specify the word gummies today, Steve. So
yeah, I know. I haven't had those yet. Wink. But I don't know. Maybe it's my brother-in-law. He's really into the Sour Patch blanks in particular, like a lot.
I've always liked gummy. I was always a gummy worms person, especially the ones coated in like the sour sugar or whatever.
Uh-huh.
The plain ones are just like whatever, but like if they're the coated kind, I tended to like those. Gummy bears has always just sort of come and gone with me. They're fine, but like nothing I really care about too much. But when I was a kid, I mean, didn't you like the fruit snacks? So like in the pouch, like, Ninja Turtle fruit snacks or whatever.
I liked those for a while, but I think I grew out of them over time. What I like to get sometimes are the Welch's fruit snacks they sell at 7-Eleven and gas stations. The mixed fruit or the strawberry, those are good.
Oh my God, yeah.
But sometimes I just want some real crap, and I'll reach for the bag of Haribo gummy bears, and
those are fine. I know you can get like an economy size bag on like Amazon for like $12. That'll last you like a year or something. But yeah, but
I don't need that many gummies.
Yeah, that's a lot. Again, you have to specify the gummies, okay?
I don't need that many non-drug gummies.
We're in a different world now, okay? Don't you think it's so fucking stupid how like dumb conservatives are like, they're going to give our kids drugs or something, like, you know, like it's like,
have you spent a minute looking at the prices? We're not giving that away on purpose.
Yeah, we're not giving those to kids, like, because they cost too fucking much. They wouldn't even appreciate it anyway. They'd probably just fall asleep while trick-or-treating.
Or throw up afterward.
Yeah. It was like, who wants that? You know, like, you're not gonna give those kids. So stupid. Anyway, okay. Are we out of takes? Are we out of here? Was that a good two fat guys segment?
Yeah, and if you're listening out there at Hershey's, please just bring back the Nutrageous forever. I don't want to. I'm sick of the will they, won't they with that.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know who makes Symphony. I think Nestle. Please change the Symphony packaging back to what it was. I don't like what it is now, and I don't trust it.
Symphony is Hershey before we get yelled at. And
okay. Yeah, please change it. Anyway, those are our pleas to Hershey today. I guess that's about it. That's a weird note to leave the show on, talking about candy, but why not? Fine Time Podcast on Twitter. Go there. You will find our names in the bio of Fine Time Podcast on Twitter, or look in the description of this podcast to follow us on social media, chiefly Twitter. See you next time, guys. Bye.
Fifth Avenue was an inside job.